Hi everyone, this is Jen Perry, and today we'll be talking about the evidence-based practices mentioned in the Iris Center model. On page 3, they talked about the foundational strategies, which were the building blocks of applied behavior analysis, ABA. Of these 5 interventions, reinforcement, prompting, time delay, modeling, and task analysis, I'm most familiar with the reinforcement, prompting, and modeling. These are evidence-based practices that I often use in my classroom now and feel that I understand them the best. While I've heard of time delay and task analysis and have worked to fade prompts, I've never done it in a systematic way in which it is intended to do. So this is something that I would need more training in. It's similar with task analysis. I often break multi-step academic tasks into smaller components, but I've not done it with social skills or behavior. So that's the next step in my development as a teacher. I'm interested in learning more about task analysis for social skills because that is something that my kids in middle school often struggle with. And I want to see how you would break down those social skills to help them. Iris Center, the module then talks about 2 interventions in the early childhood section, the visual supports and the picture exchange communication system, or PECS. I'm very familiar with various visual supports. I've used visual schedules, visual boundaries in my classroom, such as tape on the ground, and the organization of bookshelves in different areas. I use visuals like graphic organizers that they mentioned and labels throughout the classroom. PECS is not new to me, but it's not something that I use a lot. I have seen it in our moderate to severe classroom, but I myself haven't used it with my students. Since I'm a mild to moderate teacher, my students are all verbal and can use their words to express their needs and wants, so that's not something that I have used personally. In the high school and beyond section, the 2 intervention strategies that they focused on were self-management and technology-aided instruction and intervention. Both, as complete interventions, are relatively new to me, except at least the names as evidence-based practices, but I've used various aspects in my teaching. I have students self-monitor their academic goals and have had students self-monitor their behavior, like tracking the number of call-outs they do, or tracking the percent of on-task time with the help of teachers. But it's not in the systematic way I would feel that the evidence-based practice would be intended to use. I would love to learn more about self-instruction and the self-talk aspect of self-management. I think some of my students could really benefit from learning how to use self-talk and having them talk them through different situations that they're in. On the Faces of Autism page, I love how they focused on the importance of building positive relationships with families. I feel I put a lot of time into forming relationships with my families, and it's extremely helpful for the students and for myself and the families. At the school I teach at, we're a 5th through 8th grade school, and we get to keep the same kids for the 4 years that they're there. So I start as their case manager when they're 5th graders, and I stay with them all the way until their 8th grade, which is really valuable. And we do this on purpose because we think it's really important to have those relationships with the students and with the parents. And so that gives us the opportunity, and I can definitely see the effectiveness of that. So that is something that really resonated with me on that Faces of Autism page. Another thing that I took away or resonated with me was that each individual is so different. Even in the family that had 2 kids with autism, it was each kid had their own strengths and their own areas of need. And this was also mentioned in one of the videos of the parents and when the teacher was talking. It's just, you can't go into a situation saying, oh, this child has autism, so this is what I'm going to do. You definitely have to look at the child as an individual and see which of the evidence-based practices was best fit with the needs that they have. And also they mentioned that parents are the experts on their children and provide great tips for working with their students. And that is something I totally agree with. I feel that parents see the strengths of their children, and that's a valuable place to start to know how to work best. Thank you very much.